Hello, 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 and hello. Is my mic muted? No, it's not. Yes, it's a great success already. Hello, Mr. Vamper and Mr. Carlin on YouTube. I've mixed it up. I've gone mental. We are live on the tube. I'm trying to quickly check on my phone that it's working and that it doesn't look god awful. Quality looks a bit crap, doesn't it? Or is it just my phone? It might just be my phone. Hello, it's that time again. It is that time again. The championship of worlds has arrived. This is going to be an extremely scuffed stream because I'm technically supposed to be working right now. But this is what I do for you beautiful people. I am willing to bin off my work just for you. Yes. Yes, indeed. Sorry, bear with. I haven't streamed on YouTube for a while, so it's all a bit scuffed. But the most important thing is, does this work? Yes, it does. I don't know why it's in, like, too yellow. But the pen is out. The pen is out. Wait. Yeah, now the pen is really out. Vampire, why'd your name No Thanks? What's happened? Don't screw up my employment. Don't you worry. I'm on my lunch break. I'm allowed to do as I please. So this will probably be a very short stream because there's a chance someone will phone me in 5 seconds. They're like, "Dang, you need to do something urgent." But yeah, world starts in roughly. Is it like? Oh, thank you, Famfa, for sharing it in the Discord. I may have forgotten that, but world starts in roughly what? 4 hours, is it? Maybe from now? I think that might be correct. 4 whole hours. Which is not that many hours, all things considered. In an absolutely tragic state of affairs, I'm going to be... Not only am I working for these few hours, but then I'm going out this evening. Foolishly. Do they not know it's Smite Worlds? Like, are you kidding me? Because YouTube doesn't allow nicknames back in the day, and my Google account is called No First Names. Thanks. Incognito. Hello, Luis Montenegro. I hope you're doing well. So. Sorry. The scuffedness continues. I'm trying to get Dragons fans currently overdosing on hopium. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be on hopium or copium. I think, well, we shall get to what I think. We shall indeed. I'm just trying to get my stream up on my tablet in front of me so I can see if anything goes super scuffed, which it almost definitely will. Okay, at the start of SWC, I know it's actually criminal, and I will never, ever forgive myself for it. I didn't realize at the time, and I don't know if I don't know if my friends would appreciate it. I'm like, "Oh, can you come out tonight?" I'm like, "But it's the Mambo. The Mambo are playing." I don't think that kind of hits. Mr. Axel, hello. My friend and acquaintance. Whew, I'm in the big leagues. I'm going to move my chat over here so I don't have to fucking break my neck to read it. Here we go. But don't you fret. The pen is still ready to go. So, Camelot Kings, Highland Ravens, first game. The SCC are here. Oh, doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good to have all the SCC representatives repping? And isn't it crazy how Mambo are going to win the whole thing? 5-0 in a best of 5. They're going to play all 5 games, going to win all 5. Just because that's what they do. It's going to be an absolutely wild world. I think we are due for some of the most ridiculous sets that we've ever seen, because this is insanely competitive. It's not going to be like last season, I don't think, where Levies just fucking stomp everything. At least I hope. But at the same time, everyone's on kind of a fairly level playing field. The meta is a bit all over the place. There are some wild picks going on, and it doesn't really feel like it's settled down properly just yet. And coming into it, I don't think teams are on the same page at all about what they think's strong. I don't think there's a wide agreement on what's strong, because I mean, we've seen so much Coronas and Naja. Those are coming into this. I would have said two of the only gods that I would say are just non-viable. Not Cronus isn't not viable, but I think just fundamentally there are better picks. But it didn't stop Zeros from AFK farming his way to huge dubs on the Mambo, rocking up with that auto attack bit of his 2, smacking towers for 8,000 million, and winning after 35 minutes. so I think the picks are all over the place. Hunters are still strong, but I think there's a pretty big range. So actually, that's a good point. Let's kind of set an agenda. I'm going to talk about, what am I going to talk about first? Let's go first. Teams. Oh yeah, look at that. Lowercase, uppercase. You can't say this doesn't bring the production value. Teams. Results. Look at that R doing the stanky leg. Oh yeah, this is high value stuff. And then I'm going to say picks and builds. I can't be bothered to write that out. Actually, I am going to. Let's see if I can do that. I might not have time to do all of this. And for general. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. General crap. It's a stacked bracket. It is a stacked bracket. It's a very stacked bracket. Yes. Levies will not make finals. That man will fall to either the Dragons or the Warriors, though I hope the Warriors. Interesting. Meta is all over the place, except for ADC, in which ADCs build Death Stalls, Devon Shadow Steal every game. They do indeed. That is the second they gave Devourer's Gloves pen, they knew exactly what they were doing. They're sick of those Transcendence builds. They want to take it back to Season 0. Hello, Peter. How are you? What do you think of the odds of SEC going to finals? Well, let's see. Thank you for segueing so beautifully into part 1 of the agenda. Can you tell I've been working a lot recently? Oh, I paused my stream on my tablet, so I can't see if it actually looks like human beings communicating, which it probably doesn't. Okay. Perfect segue. So, round 1, we have the Camelot Kings and the Highland Ravens. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the Camelot Kings are really good. Really good. Really stinkingly good. They are, in my opinion, the most organized, thorough, and just... Don't get me wrong, they do have the ability to shit the bed sometimes, but the Kings... Is this the time? Is this the time? Can Genetics get his ring in his rookie season? Will Captain Twig and Variety finally get rings? Captain Twig has been in World's Finals and not won more than literally anyone else. He's been in more World's Finals than most players combined. And has won a grand total of 0. Could this be the moment? So things to talk about with the Kings. Genetics is cracked and has been kind of running the support meta for a while now. I'm going to kind of focus through go through the kind of reliable ones. Variety is just solid, still a team fight beast. Can kind of get stomped on if people are having their moment, but you know, I think we've seen in the past how good Variety can be at Worlds. Variety at Worlds in front of a crowd, gonna pop off. Tings is just nuts and just about as good of a mid laner gets. And there are a lot of like quite interesting mages being played at the moment. Agni's quite good at the moment, apparently, all of a sudden. And Tings loves an Agni pick, so that might be good. Tiamat's still knocking around, even though she's not a top pick, and he was nuts on that. People are playing Merlin again, he was nuts on that. Vulcan's still good, and well, the Vulcan's not amazing, and Tings is just fucking nuts. Basically, Tings is fine. Tings can pick anything. TMT just built diff, yeah. Twig choke coming, surely. Ooh, we shall see. 100% think Hex is a top 4 SPL team, could go the distance, but as a Dragons fan, I think they're going to choke like usual, and it might happen in the first round. Twig's the best knowledge player to ever touch Smite. Yes, so Twig. This is going to be a really interesting time for Twig because we're going to see Darji banned every single time. And I think that's good for the Kings because I don't think Twig's very good at Darji. I don't think it's his best pick. But he is very good at Naja, and everyone seems to be playing Naja. Even though I think Naja is poo-poo pee-pee, everyone seems to be playing him at the moment. So maybe they know, maybe they're cooking up something that us mere mortals can't understand. But Naja being good is good for Twig, because Twig was playing it before it was cool. So I still don't want to see him pick it. I don't see any team pick it. I'm very happy to Naja to get this entire tournament untouched. But yeah, you do have to think about Twig's mental, right? They've been so good this season. They've been so good since this team formed. And they finally won something. But these are the most notorious chokers in all of Choker Town. I mean, the thing is with Worlds runs, right, is it's not about being the best team for a season. It's not even about being the best team for like a month or even like a whole week. It's about being the best team for like 3 days. Like, look at SK. SK sucked all season, had to go through the relegations to get to Worlds. But on that weekend, they suddenly just, Ultron, Voltron, whatever it's called, fucking fusion dance together and became one and pogged off. And the exact same with PK. PK were crap that season. Not crap, but they were mid-table. But all it takes is a weekend. Splice, Season 5. Not that great of a team. One weekend, bam, win it. I seem to remember one time deciding you shot at me with Naja. That's just because I'm built different. That's just what I bring. Did I read the interview from the long lane? I haven't yet, but I do intend to. I'm annoyed I don't have chat on screen. I used to have that. I can't remember how I did it. Oh well. But yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about was Core, right? Because that was a change. I feel like most changes I've vaguely seen coming over the years, until the last couple of years where everything has just gone out the fucking window and everything has just gone mental. All these wild changes all of a sudden. And I think the one that really shot me the most was Netroid going. Because one, Netroid is fucking insane. And two, they're like best mates. They're like really good, like close team. 3, it's super close to Worlds. And 4, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yark the shark is Yark is an animal. He is literally the shark. But at the end of the day, he's just not that experienced as an ADC. I think if there's anyone who can just casually slot into a role and win a world championship, it's the shark, right? But that doesn't change the fact that he's not that experienced. And hunters are so important in these games. You just cannot win if you have a bad hunter. It's simple as, because they're so essential to these late game fights. This is how Worlds games goes. The quick stomps don't really happen as much. Everyone is a bit more cautious, a bit more tentative. These games go long and they get really intense, and they come down to shot calling. And if it comes down to like a late game team fight and your ADC is just a bit out of position, you're cooked. You're absolutely cooked. I think Yark is like, he's shown how capable he is. He's going to be absolutely fine, probably. But they are putting an awful lot of faith in someone who's been playing ADC for just a few months. If the finals is Kings vs Dragons, it doesn't come down to skill. It doesn't come down to which rival curse is stronger. Yeah, who's getting spooked with the curse the most? AP, hello, how are you? When do we get behind the skin PK set? Well, we've got the pool montage. The pool montage is already there, and that's basically it already. Having a crowd would definitely affect the players who started in the COVID era. I disagree. I think every single team is going to benefit from it. I wonder, which teams do you think are going to get the biggest, like, the most supporters? Kings obviously have a big fan base, but people watching the King Kennett, that's going to be getting a lot of cheers, surely. Everyone loves Bolts. Everyone loves Mambo. Like, everyone loves these teams. I mean, maybe not this one, but everyone loves these teams. The crowd is going to be really split, I think. Usually it was, because it was an NA team and it was an NA-EU split. It'd be like the NA team would come out and be like, woo, amazing. And then the EU team would come out and there's just 100 people sat there like, what the fuck are these guys doing here? The interview talks about beauty and Netroid. It's about comms, communication, and match men to apparently be negative when things go bad. And Yark just has ice in his veins. He is the shark. He's cold-blooded. Yeah, interesting. Just really interesting that they just didn't think they could win Worlds with Netroid. But anyway, let's stop faffing about. Highland Ravens are really good for an SEC team. Really, really good. But fundamentally, they are not King's quality. Which is very depressing to say because the King is going to be there. And they're playing really well. Vaporish Coast is SPL quality by a mile. King Kennett, you know what he does. Angry is oh, no, sorry, wrong team. That's Mambo. Fuck, who's their mid laner? Had a mind blank. Anyway, yeah, Connor in the solo, after he had a horrible throw in their first set, he had a really, really solid run, I think. But just my concern is Cozy, who has been played well, don't get me wrong, but he's just very inexperienced. He's only recently moved to support, and you are going to get really, really found out. A team like Kings finds out teams like Dragons and, you know, Titans and Levies when they're off the pace. So an SEC team, I unfortunately have this down as a big 2-0. Angry's mid for the Ravens? No, Angry's mid for the... It is Angry for the Ravens? Oh yeah, because zero's for that Mambo, isn't it? Duh. Idiot. After Cyclone got kicked, I can't support the Titans. I felt like no one supports the Titans. It's so mean. I felt like Yark to Kings is like when Zach joined the Levies, just gives them an X factor. Gives them the X factor. Gives them the ice in their veins. Most Kings fans of the EU community, is it not? I don't know. I think they've got a lot of love. Yeah, I mean, probably you're right, but I think they get a lot of love across the board. Ravens 2, bald acting revenge. I love there is actually a player in rank called bald acting. My girlfriend said he looked quite stacked the other day. She's like, he doesn't look like a nerd. Because I had it on in the background. She's like, he doesn't look like a nerd. He looks like pretty buff. I was like, that's because he's the king. That's the king you're talking about. Do we know if Angry... So what's the situation with Angry? Is he going to be there? Is he, like... You say he's on ping, but how does that work? How are they going to make that happen? If it was an online leader, would be there for sure. I think Mambo would be. I think Ravens are a bit inconsistent, but they'd definitely be kind of challenging. I would say they wouldn't be beating the Valks, but the Valks decided to shit the bed for qualifiers. I don't know why. Yeah, exactly. So I think it has kind of spread out a bit more. He's not. Oh, criminal. He still couldn't get a visa. That is actually criminal. Well, that's very depressing for them, but Angry on ping, he didn't fuck about last time, so maybe he needs to like quickly pop to the UK. Oh, actually, no, we're out of England. We're out of the EU. Pop to France, like to west coast of France, because I get like 100 ping on American servers, so could do it right. But yeah, basically, I think it's going to be good games, and Ravens can give them a scare, but I think unfortunately this is down as a big fat 2-0, and I think this is probably going to be the most one-sided set of the day. Also, just quickly, let's talk about this. What is that about? What is that about? Best of 3 in the quarterfinals. What is this, regular season? So the Highland Ravens fight all this way to get through SEC, get top 2 SEC, through a whole qualifying tournament, play 2 games at the beginning of day 1, go home. What's that about, man? You do best of 3s here if it's double elimination. You do best... I mean, I guess 4 sets of best of 5s would be a fucking monstrously long day. But still. It hurts my soul. It hurts my feelings. Anyway. Set number 2. And this is the one that I am going to be watching like a fucking hawk. Olympus Bolts Hex Mambo. If I could have picked a team for Mambo to go against in this round, I would have gone for the... for the mans themselves, the Bolts, because the Bolts are very, very beatable. I know they're technically a top 4 team, but I'm not really sure how they snuck into top 4. Surely it's because they only booked the convention in for 3 days, don't have time for best of 5? Maybe, who knows? There's a ton of shit going on behind the scenes. It's going to be super long because they're doing all 4 in day 1. Yeah, it's going to be beasted. Yeah. Yeah, you do think maybe it would have been a 4-day event, but trust me, as someone who has tried to organize things in the past, us mere plebs have no idea how much of a fucking pain in the ass all of this stuff is. Every single thing has 8 billion different caveats on it. So, has never been to be at sub quarters, I know, but this is like a really. I think this tournament is about as important as a tournament as Smite has ever had, because the scene without LANs, I think the scene without LANs is nothing. I think that we should be having LANs for every what's it called? Mid-season invitational thing. Because I think, don't get me wrong, everyone's interest in the season dips over time, but then it comes back for big tournaments. That's what happens in every single sport, esport, blah blah blah. Is that the interest dips a bit in the middle. It's fun at the start. Everyone gets a bit kind of tired, bored, loses interest a bit, and then as things are coming to a head and the stakes increase, it comes back to finals. It comes back to a LAN. Everyone's excited. But when it's just on LAN and they're not even in front of a crowd, everyone's like, oh, that's the bit that I waited all year for, and it was a bit boring. So this is going to be so important. This is the first crowd LAN forever, so this needs to be good. The Super Beetle, this is 2-0 for the Sex. Yeah, super volatile team. Yeah, Bolts are weird. Some splits their top speed, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. I learned never to bet on Bolts. So has everyone who's done predictions on my Twitch channel. Best thing about this tournament is that there isn't really a clear favourite anyone can put. Yeah, exactly. This is wide open. This is absolutely wide open. I fully agree. I mean, there are favourites, don't get me wrong, but I don't think any team here is not beatable. I think the Bolt set will come down to how well they predicted the world's meta we've seen before they get rolled. Yeah, you know what? That kind of core of players, Barrow particularly, has been really bad. Not like him, but like the teams that he's been on have been really bad for that generally. And the meta is a bit all over the place. I really do think this is going to be like a splice year where someone's going to find like those picks that work and just run with it. Although saying that, I think this is, in terms of like the last few years, the difference between like seasons 1 through 5 was that there really weren't that many viable picks then. Whereas now, pretty much, there are very few picks I would say aren't viable. I know this is something that the Reddit meatheads would hit the ceiling about. But this is the most balanced that the characters have been for a long time. Like this is in terms of god picks. This is, I mean, there are still some that are just busted. Don't get me wrong, but that's why we have bans. But the rest of them, you know, someone like, let's say Bastet, for example, who we saw a ton of in the last tournament at the beginning of the season. Where has she gone? She just disappeared. And suddenly picks like that are just going to appear out of nowhere. Agni started getting picked. Tiamat's been forgotten and then come back. People have stopped playing Yamoja. Fucking Yamoja? Yamoja's busted. Bolts, I feel, have the worst mental. Yeah, I would agree. Hebo meta incoming. Hebo looks good when when the other team who have a Pele jungle decide not to look at him for 19 minutes of a game. He gets his Bumba Spear online and they just one-shots everyone. But he did look really strong. SPL is lost right now. They need some people to step down. I firmly disagree. Collecting a page, I firmly disagree. Anyway, Bolts and Mambo. I think both teams... Oh, that's the rubber. That's not the pen. This is the pen. So both teams are going to get a win. But who gets the dub? Woo. I'm really torn. Fabless got a mega nerfed. Doesn't matter. Does not matter to me. I think Yamoja's kit was busted before Fabless Hoops. Yeah, Guan making his yearly appearance. The yearly tradition of Guan being wank at the beginning of the season. Never played. Suddenly at Worlds he pops off. And then gets nerfed. And then starts the cycle again. Guan, I think people just love falling back on Guan because everyone's got a Guan in the pocket. Every single solo laner plays Guan because he's fucking easy. And he's just so good in team fights. And these games that go long, they're slow, big team fights every single time. So who takes this one? What are we thinking? Bolts or Mambo? Bolts or Mambo? What the What does the survey say? I hope to see Barry and Jake run it down. That's when, yeah. I think the struggles for the Bolts have come from the fact that, yeah, Jake and Barry used to be such a dangerous duo late, but they've been kind of shit in the bed as of late. So, yeah, Jake especially. Like, when was the last time Jake had a big pop-off performance? Like, Jake, that's what Jake was known for. The Ymirs, the Tears, these big playmaking guys. And now, I don't know, I just really haven't seen it for it. Just keeps playing Nox every time. Bolts, I'm leaning Mambo. Had execute using Gorn. Out of context, that sounds a bit weird. Bolts, Mambo, Mamba. Hex 2-1, 2-1 either way, Mambo. Bologna, I think, right, there are some picks that are going to get found out very quickly. I think Bologna, doo-doo, super overrated. Do not build chin size on that god. Do not do it. I hate it. I hate it so much. Such a bad item. Because, like, in a late game team fight, you ult into the backline. You get, like, 3 autos on someone, max. And you're hoping to hit the hunter. 3 autos with chin size, you do about 17 extra damage. And then you fucking melt because you don't have Spectral. Like, you know. Amma did look strong, though. I agree. Bolts. Oh, the other picks that are going to get found out. Naja, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, big poo-poos. And who's the other one? I think Thor is really overrated. I think Thor... Don't get me wrong, I can see why people are picking him. He's going to have good games, but I think if a team really sticks to Thor, they're going to get found out really hard. Mambo down to if Lasbro can carry, yeah, that's always the easy bit of commentary for the Bolts. You just say, point at Lasbro. If he do well, they win. If he do bad, they lose. If Ven and Lasbro don't play scared, is Bolts win? I think if Bolts win, they're going to stomp. Because sometimes they just kind of turn up and pop off and they look insane. But come on, let's do it. Let's be bold, be brave, and let's give the SCC boys, let's give them a win. Come on, because I've got the Ravens losing, so let's give it the Mambo. Pele got to be a top 2 pick this morning. Pele's looked good. But again, I don't think she's that strong that teams need to be bending their whole draft around them. The most important thing about any land, like any smite land, is just to don't let your preconceptions of the meta cloud what you're seeing as it happens. Because this happens every single year. Teams come in with their understanding of the meta, as they should do. Every single team does that. And then very quickly, you start to see the LAN meta evolve in front of your eyes. And if you don't pay attention to that, and you keep banning the same stuff that you were before, you lose. Shout out to the entirety of Season 3 Worlds, where people just weren't paying attention to the fact that Nike Jungle was winning every single game. Like, just because you don't think she's that good at the beginning, pay attention. NRG gets to the final. What do? First ban Nike. What do? They win. Like, you know. And I think the clearest example of this was Renegade Sanguine, Season 7 Worlds. Sanguine coming in as the favourites to win that game. And what do they ban? Cupid. Apollo wrecks them game 1. So what do they ban game 2? Cupid. Who wrecks them game 2? It's Apollo. Game 3, everyone's like, come on, ban the Apollo. And who did they ban? Cupid, 3 in a row. Apollo shits on them 3 games in a row. Let it go, man. Let it go. Some people just miss the wood for the trees, you know. So, a pick like Pele is a pick that I can see people overly relying on because they think it's good coming into it. If Bolts lose to Mambo, do you think they still stick together? I think we're going to see a lot of changes. I think this is going to be the biggest off-season in a hot minute. I think I would not surprise if we saw Bolts split. Any game a team picks the Morrigan, you think the Morrigan wins every single game? Every single game? Damn, we better tell the pros that. They don't realise. You think Bolts is going to win because Zero doesn't play set? I don't think anything can be that black and white, right? I mean, nothing can be. He doesn't do, like, if that was the case, then the teams would have beaten Mambo beforehand. So, I do think Zeros might end up being a bit of a weak link for Mambo, though. Giving Ven, because Ven, when he gets sat on, can be a bit naff. So giving Ven time and space to do his thing, if he's not being pressured by a 5k damage to Zeros, then is a bit concerning, but SEC World Champ title. That would be the sickest thing I've ever seen. I would love to see that. Opinion on Kronos mid. I am such a Kronos hater. I love playing Kronos. He's one of my favorite gods to play, but I'm such a Kronos mid hater. I really am. Don't get me wrong. Like if someone like Pool locks it in, then I take back my words, and the Lord and Savior will carry us to the Nether Realms. But I just think he's so non-impactful. I really do. Kronos is good if there's not a single team fight in the first 35 minutes of the game, and then he's insane. Then he can just then he's just ridiculously good. But yeah, I am just such a Kronos hater. And I think he's a pick that will be abandoned. I don't think you will see a Kronos at this point. Like, not a single Kronos will be played. Today will be the first ever get to see Smite played in person. That's amazing. I can't wait for that day myself. I can't believe that I've never done it. Barrow's Apollo game legendary? Yeah. John Zero doesn't have to play set because Johnny is Mambo's pressure picker. But you just hope they give Johnny a bit, like... Give him some help, man. Give him some help. You can predict Maui gets nerfed into the ground afterwards. That wouldn't surprise me either. Maui is sleeper strong. And it's this same thing that happens, again, every Worlds, where the god that's released just before Worlds ends up being a lot more strong than people realise, and might end up just being like kind of permaban. I don't think he's permaban material, but he's just strong. He's just a solid pick. Odds on Ven whipping out Cuckoo. I think it's very possible. Book of Thoth has never been stronger, which means Cuckoo's never been stronger. Kronos Midge feels so boring to watching comp. Yeah, I think so. Were you doing a montage of this year's Worlds? Love your montages. Thank you very much, Gavin. I will do at some point. The last Worlds one the work is being done on it, but I was basically ill for all of December, which kind of ruined my plans. No, I'm not, unfortunately, GK. I really, really want to go to a Worlds one day. Like, seeing everyone there has made me sad boy. But no, it's in Texas, which is fucking miles from London and really expensive to get there, and I'm working, and I've got like a really big thing happening on Tuesday, which I need to be very much present and on it for, and basically not in Texas. So and I'm not even gonna be able to watch the games for this afternoon, which is beyond heartbreaking. Anyway, I am rambling. We've not even got through. We've got through 2 sets. Jade Dragons, Oni Warriors. What are your guys' picks here? I know what I think, but I'm interested to hear what you think. Dragons are a world staple, right? They always bring the heat. Yeah, next year when it's in London. That's that. Oh, sorry. Did I just leak that? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Dragons, they love a Worlds event. Fine, okay, wants that goddamn ring. Give this man a ring. Pagon and Scream, just built different. Scream gets in there and presses his buttons more than anyone else in the world. He is a button presser, and no one can deny that. The buttons will be pressed. Onis are the biggest frustration that I have in Smite, because they can be so good. All of their players are so... Every single one of their players has the ability to pop the fuck off. I'm mainly looking at Neil. I think this entire Oni run rests on how well Neil Mar plays. Because we've seen it before. Worlds Neil, different beast. Regular season Neil shits the bed on a regular basis. Worlds Neil's something else. Season 6 Worlds, I still think Neil should have been MVP. And then he frauded his way to MVP the next season, but that's besides the point. I need to see Neil Mar pop. I need to see the pop off. I need it, man. And I need to see World's Fred as well. Because, again, Fred is so good. Can be so good. Just don't let him play Naja. I want Onis to ban Naja so Fred doesn't pick it. But Pele being good is a good sign for Onis because, I mean, Fred was playing a ton of Pele in the PK run and he fucking popped off with that. To quote Hindu man, Cuba Fred is eating dinner as he shits through the entirety of United. But yeah, Dardes, Nika, Vote, all world-class players, top-tier players. I think Vote is so underrated, and I think he could be he can put on he can help Nika carry that backpack. Only to choke at tournaments so bad? Yeah, agree. I've got this down. As at J Dragon's dub. Should we give them a win? If I'm betting money on this, I'm probably going to say 2-0. But I just like Onis too much to not give them one. What is everyone saying? Goat carry easy. I like that. Goat. G-O-T-E. 2-0 Dragons. Dragons 2-0 surely. 2-0. Dragons will be dragging the Warriors. Dragon D's over them. Dragons 2-0. Jesus Christ. I'm an Onis believer, but I know I'm on a ton of copium. Yeah. Need to see a Jade finally win a Worlds. I mean, this is a pretty... Actually, no, it's a tough bracket for them, but it's very, very possible. Is he going to punch the chair, though? I really hope so. But Scream brought Pele back into the meta, and Scream is also just fucking cracked. Yeah, sorry, Onis, I do like you, but I just don't see it. I'm going to redo my 2 over here. I'm going to go, woo. And then that takes us on to the last set of the day. Nice, great calligraphy. You think Fred pops off a tricks, ends up losing? I don't think that's going to affect him, to be honest. I don't think these teams... Like, think about, okay, Fred sits down in his chair and he's making a play. He's like deciding whether to gag. He's like, this was for tricks tag. And like dives in. I don't think it quite works like that. I like the, it's something the commentators might say. I can see it that being the sort of thing that Dolson says, but... 2-0 Titans, they've just looked mad strong recently. Really? Really? Intriguing. What are the rest of people saying? If only managed to get one win, I think they actually have a real chance of the momentum. Yeah, this is one that, if this ended up being an upset, you know, again, this is what I mean, this one was wide open. This would be an upset, but Onis can beat any team on their day, right? When Onis play really, really good, when they play good, when I English good, when they play well, they are just about as good as any single team in the league. They can pop off and beat anyone. And that's the same for, I think, other than maybe the Ravens and... Yeah, probably just the Ravens. Sorry, that sounds really mean. But every single team here has the capacity to just win. In previous Worlds, you've had it where there are some teams who can maybe have upsets, but they just do not have the capacity as a team to win Worlds. They just don't have that in them. Whereas here, every single one of these other teams has the potential. They have... I don't really know how to describe it. I'm not doing a very good job. But the point is that there are teams that can win games. Like, for example, the Valks, they can beat any team on their day, right? But I don't think they have the ability to string those games together. You can be good, but you have to be consistently cracked. And I just don't think they have that, unfortunately. But the only Warriors, I think they do. I still haven't done as losing. Realistically, I would say 2-0, but I just want to give them at least one. My weirdest prediction this year, Lev's going to lose to Titans the same way they kept losing to Valks. I mean, it's not impossible. Definitely not impossible. PBM, Purple Invade, First Blood. Okay. I mean, PBM does have the theory that he knows how to invade and the others are being big dum-dums, so... You kind of feeling Pool lately? Land Pool coming through? Yeah, it'd be weird to see Pool go out first round, wouldn't it? It just doesn't feel right. Love the Titans, but they just aren't what they were. Easy, Levy 2-0. They banned Pool, Set, and Mori. Yeah, I mean, banning Pool is something that hasn't consistently worked out for people. Pool kind of doesn't have bans. Pool's god Pool is just Smite. Just point at Smite, generally. As a Dragon's dub believer, I'm cautiously optimistic that it's a dub both skill-wise and narrative-wise. So the other teams will understand they have to roll over and lose because the narrative is on their side. That's very good of them. Titans rely on drafting, and it's incredibly difficult to draft diff the levies. That's an interesting take. Do I agree with that? Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think that's. I wouldn't say they rely on it, but they definitely do play comps more than other teams in terms of they decide suddenly, hey, this game we want a full damage Athena solo. This time we want a full tank Guan. I wouldn't say rely, but yeah. Yeah, interesting. Agree that it's difficult to draft with the levies because they're just cracked on every god. Titan's been sandbagging. Yeah, I would agree with that, actually. 2-0 levies versus Titans because Zatman at Worlds go Brewer. 2-1 as a rival fan of the show. Pool is the only win condition. Levies need him sitting upright. yeah. If Pool is sat like this with his legs up, it's game over for you. When you sat like a shrimp, you're done. You are done. Game over. Levies feel like the worst possible matchup for Titans, IMO. I would say Kings are a worse matchup for them. Actually, no, I think you're probably right. I think they probably are the worst matchup. No, actually, I think Jade would be the worst. I think Jade would be the biggest shitters on the Titans, personally. Yeah. You cannot ban Apple and leave SCT and Sino free. Yeah, you got to feel there's a Naja ban coming in, right? There's going to be a Naja ban every game. You think Levies have... Yeah. Shrimp pool is different gravy. So true. So I've got this down as a Levies dub. I'm really torn on whether this is a 2-0 or a 2-1 because it just depends what Titans turn up. Because sometimes okay, a lot of the time they are a bit naff. They do have that kind of X factor. That kind of sometimes where they just click and they can counter engage really well. I mean, you've got a Raw and Paul on a team together, and SOT is just built different. Stewart's looked good. And Sino's still a world-class player, even though he's not been on that team for long. They could definitely get a win here. Like, this could be an upset. This could definitely be an upset, and it depends how Levies come out, because sometimes Levies start quite slowly. Sometimes they aren't that hot straight out the gates. But then sometimes Panatom just logs into the server and does Panatom things and reminds everyone that he's the best in the league by a country mile. So, see you later, Mr. Vamper. Godspeed. Don't worry, I won't skip too much work. I'm going to give this 2-0. Don't know why it's so small, but it is. Lost your diff. I haven't watched them play recently. I don't know if the draft makes up, but Levies lost their hunger. Yeah, so Levies, they did 100% for the first split of the season. They were shit. They were absolutely wanky wank. But they then went on the longest win streak the SPL's ever had last split. So they're kind of back. Upset? No way. Just because you said that. 0, and they're winning 4. They're winning 4 in a best of 3. Easy dub. No, I'm joking. What, Sinobix Chuck Jungle? The Chungle? Yeah, I'm not a Chuck Jungle lover, but I'm not a Chuck Jungle hater, so... No, your core is a huge loss for them? I disagree. I mean, it is a huge loss. Any team would have a loss to lose Yakul, but Haddix is about as good as solos get, so... Yeah, no. Not concerned. Betters, welcome. A YouTube stream, I know. This is the world's treatment. It should be in a suit and tie. Okay, so we've got Kings. Oh yeah, that's a nice G. Nice N. Looking good. Kings and Mambo. Will it be Mambo best of 5? You got Titans over Levies? Rogue. Very rogue. Kings versus Mambo. As a certified Kings lover and an EU lover, as a certified Mambo lover and EU lover, I really want to see them win, and I'm trying in my head to do mental gymnastics to make them win. It's like, you can do it. You can do it. But the best that I can do is like those porn. What's that? Is it Porn Stars? Is that what the program's called? That bald bloke. It's like the best I can do is a 3-1. I'm sorry, but I just do not see. Kings are just too solid and reliable, and you've got Big Man Tings who is beyond cracked, and then you've got Zeros who's doing 5k damage on Kronos. Like if Mambo pick a Kronos into the Kings, like you will hear genetics laughing from Texas in London. 3-1 Kings. 3-2 Mambo, mark my words. It's 2-2, and last game, Deathwalker, Tierman, 5 Tierman Beers, Pentakill, Spam Laugh. If that happens, play to me. If that happens, I will pay you all the money I've ever earned in my life. That's not true. But I'll be very impressed. 3-0 Kings, 3-0 Kings, I fear. I agree. I think any teams will have a substitute at Worlds like we had last week. I don't think so. Do we know if anyone's going to have a substitute? I think the worst that we've got is Sino and Layers, because Layers can't do lands, and Angry playing on ping, but that's it. Kings are going to 5-0. A 5-1 in a best of 5. That is incredible. 3-0, I'm done. Kings do what Mambo does, just better. I mean, I can definitely see Mambo have some really good sort of macro play late game. But I think the Kings are the best at that. No, sorry, second best behind Leviatan, so. If we send Mambo all our energy, then they will win. Let's all join together. The chat must all join together. If they don't ban Tyr game 1, Deathwalker bans them, crushes the Mendel, and takes it through. Deathwalker doesn't even like Tyr that much, which is what I find really funny about this. He really doesn't like that pick. He's always said that he's not that. Though. Deathwalker's always beaten Variety at LAN. True. Very true. I just don't think solo is that impactful at the moment. Unfortunately. It's not like, this is not season 3 and 4. They're still strong, but they're not like game-changing in the same way. Only team that could really beat the Kings is the Levs IMO. Well, interesting. We shall see where we get to. Let's take this comment and see your best of the match. Yeah, I'm there. Don't worry. There's lots of 3-2 Mambos with Deathwalker looking in Tyr. Love it. Bit worried about Kings mentals. If they keep their cool, it's all good. I think the fact that they just won that most recent LAN is going to be absolutely excellent for the mental. I really, really hope that they get their mental together because this is as good of a shot as they're ever going to get to win. Yeah, I think Mambo play quite sloppily, and they pull it. They have like pop-off performances and really clutch moments that pull it together. But the Kings are a team that really punish sloppy play, really punish it. They're the team that you end up 1k down after like 6 minutes with no kills, or like near like 1.5k down, just because they're that on it. And against a sloppy team, it gets spiraling pretty quick. It's hard to have those big clutch plays if you're 15k down. Anyway, let's move on to the Jade Dragoons, the Jazzberry Jammers, versus the Tartar Sword. Nope, that's not correct. Versus the Levi's. Levi jeans. Vampers just messaged me like, don't forget to delete the VOD if you're going to do something that could get you fired during work hours. That's fine. Very nice of you, but don't you worry. It's actually fine because I'm just having a lunch break, so it's all good. Okay. Oh, now you've got to be scared. Jade Levies. This is a barn burner. The barn will be burning in a big way. 3-2 Levies. Jade 3-1. 3-2 Dragons because you want a King's Dragons file. The Dragon Slayers. The King versus... That's quite fitting, isn't it? The King versus the Dragon. This is one that I genuinely don't know. Because these teams really match up weirdly into each other. Obviously, Zatman has had the Jades number for a while, but sometimes the Jades just fucking... They get that dog in them, you know? They get the dog in them. Aegon solo Shinto 5 times in 3 games. I think this set and Bolt's Man would be the 2 most competitive sets in the bracket. Not including the final? Kings win over bottom bracket no matter what IMO. Intriguing. You've got Kings just crushing it. Levies should stomp them. So I think on paper, Levies are the favourites just because they're the Levies, right? Yeah, true, Jay, true. 2-2, and then the final game just doesn't end. It's so close that neither can end the game, and it just goes on forever. It just never ends. The finals are never played. Jade's choked during Worlds. It's on Pagon's performance in front of the fans. Hello, Mr. Brightside. The goat fluffer has arrived. What team is Stuart on? Stuart has joined the Titans. Oh, that's supposed to be a rubber. I have this. Trying to build suspense here with a heartbeat. as a dub for the Levies. Give them the 3-2. Regardless, actually, I was going to say regardless of who makes it through here, it's going to be a good set. Not true. If the only Warriors do manage to upset the Jade Dragons, I don't think they win this game. I don't think they beat the Leviathans. But if this goes completely differently, I would not be surprised. But I've got to give it to the Levies here because they're just really good, and they've got Banatom, which is alternate timeline. You do really think this game come down to a mental? Yeah, I think this is going to have the mental's going to have the biggest effect this tournament, maybe ever, because the teams really don't often sit this competitively with each other. Like back through seasons 1 through 5, you could have fucking great mental if you want, but it doesn't really matter. Like you're just not good enough. This is the OG stream location. It was Carlin. What was your name beforehand? It wasn't Carlin. It was something else. I remember. It's going to annoy me. You rate Leviathans? That's good. Do you think there'll be any changes to the rules when it comes to roster changes next year? Find the same amount of changes many rosters have had this year. It wouldn't surprise me if they made it so that you can only make changes at certain periods. I don't think they should change the number of changes per se. But I think maybe set periods after, mid-season stuff. I don't know. I kind of like the changes. I kind of like the chaos. Keeps it fun to me. If you manifest Zatman's 4th ring, Smite is officially cancelled. Oh, damn. Shit, I've got to change my prediction. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Zap has a key. If Zatman wins a 4th ring, does he move to the Zungle? I honestly can see him doing that. Because at that point, you just mentally check out, right? You just, like, you're done. So, we've got the Levies over the Jades. Hyper, that's it. That's the one. Okay. So, let's take it to the bridge, as Justin Timberlake would say. Kings Levies. Rematch of last year's semi-final. Quiz question, how did that finish? Changes have been entertaining. Yes, they have. I think the thing is I think the changes have been entertaining, but the Scarabs changes have started to take the piss a bit. It's just a completely different team. Are we going to do power rankings? No, because I don't have enough time. But I mean, you're basically kind of looking at my power rankings. Oh, do you mean for players? They're all good. There you go. That's my answer. The only remotely close set last year? Not true. Titans, Scarabs was remotely close for one game. Actually, maybe you're right. Maybe it was the only remotely close set. Maybe I take that back. Yeah, Carlin was hyper all that time. Because Mambo crushes the Kings, you've got Mambo 3-0 in finals. Damn, play to me. You are... What is he cooking? What? Does he know? Only game Levies dropped at Worlds. Correct. Correct indeed. I still have that image of Genetics getting, like, just right-clicked, like console command delete from the game, and one Freya whoop into Nem ult, into Sunder, Stinger, and the Kepri literally had died before he hit the ground. Fucked. I think it starts in like 3 hours, Vicente, but I'm actually not sure. So I'm not entirely certain. Scouts were one of your favourite teams last year, seeing the dynamics you sad. That team is going to be gone next time around, so don't you worry. Like, I think we're going to see the biggest roster apocalypse for a while. Because last time roster apocalypse wasn't that big. I think this is going to be the biggest one by a mile. So, okay, what are we thinking? Kings over Levies. If Pegon doesn't crack under fan pressure, I honestly think they have a win over... I mean, Pegon is a fucking... He's a differ, isn't he? He is a differ. The big differ. If Johnny are able to pop off, they might just make it to finals. I just don't see it at all. I think to be honest with you, I'm being quite kind to them here. I can also see them just getting 2-0 by the balls. But I still think that Kings beat. I think kind of these predictions are a bit irrelevant because I think Kings clear this bracket regardless. SOT slapped the Titans hard too. He did. The problem is that the first game that the Dragons won wasn't close, and then the other 3 games the Scarabs won weren't close either. So they just put the stream up. God damn. A little less than 3 hours. God damn. Hot damn. Oh, it's all happening. Actually, no, sorry. I was going to move the camera, but I can't be fucked. Levies over Kings. Forget about the roster apocalypse. Yeah, I mean, think about the teams, right? Kings, you can see staying together in some form or another, but maybe, you know, someone like, I mean, Tings' heart isn't exactly in it. But Bolts, I think, will split regardless. Dragons might kind of stay together, but I don't know. I think they've been together for so long now. They might want something. I mean, Scream and Pegon have given a bit of life into that team, so I can see them wanting to stay like that. But who's to say that Pegon doesn't want to go somewhere else, you know? Pegon, whatever. Titans, I think, are going to disband pretty collectively. Yeah. Am I going to be streaming today? Probably not, no. Unfortunately, I might try and stream this weekend, but I probably won't be able to today. Some hot assault action. Nice. You forgot that Twig chokes at Worlds? Well, we haven't got to the final yet, have we? Twig has made it to more grand finals than you can shake a stick at, so he is not unfamiliar with getting to this spot. So I think I've seen more people say Kings than Levies. Bigger than the season 8 roster apocalypse. I can't even remember that. My Alzheimer's is kicking in, unfortunately. Peg on jungle, Benny mid on New Dragons. Let's go. Yeah, Twig can be shaky, but Twig can also pop off. PBM, vote, Pagon, Scream, and Nika. New team. Damn, he's got the down low. Pagon, I only see movements to play the SOT. Yeah, that's true. They do stream together quite a lot, don't they? So, yeah, I can see that. And two mechanical nutcases on the same team. Like, I think Titans are going to implode, so... yeah, interesting. So, Kings Levies. Who do I think is going to win? My immediate response is Levies. That's what my gut reaction says. But I mean, yeah, Twig, he wants it, man. He wants it. I need it, man. Fuck's sake. Yarko gets his revenge for being kicked. Was Yarko kicked or did he leave? I can't even remember. I'm too old. I think he kind of half wanted to leave. He wanted to change roles. Yark gets his MVP in solo. It's like, I'm going to change roles. Because the man's just a nutcase. He nearly moved home as well. He nearly just gave up on Smite for this year. They're not as good with that Yark solo. They just had the longest win streak in SPL history, so they were doing okay. I think Haddix is just so good. Haddix is so solid and reliable. I don't see him like choking or anything. Oh, you're right. Yeah, that PK got fractured. You're right. Spot on. You think Levies are the Kings' roughest matchup just from playstyle? Yeah, I agree. I think Levies just... I think Zatman is Twig's kryptonite. Is Shugami the most contested pick? I think so. Because teams still really aren't banning her that much, but she's like first pick material. So I think she's going to have an insane... You know, they have that rate where it's like... I'm not sure what it's called, but basically an involvement rate. She's either picked or banned. I think that's going to be near enough 100%. See the finals being very long and drawn out, so you think another Levies win? I can agree with that. Saying stuff about another player's mother. Is that true? Is that against foils not good for the league? Why not? Why is that not good? I think that's sick, personally. He's done it. If it was the same team doing it 4 years in a row, that's one thing. But to take 2 completely different teams and play styles and get 4-time back-to-back, that's insane. I'd be satisfied with either team winning. I think now that Levies have got their win, I really wanted to see a LATAM team win. That was so hype. But now they've got their win, share the love. Give it to Twig. He needs it, man. I think just imagine the apocalyptic pop off if Twig wins this world. I mean, Twig is he's a popper. The man pops. But if he wins worlds, just think of the hand licks. He'll be licking everywhere. You think Hattis will go for kills over helping his team? That's me saying I don't really know what I think about that. I don't think I agree. I don't think I agree. I think he's very, very disciplined, is the word I'll use. Will they actually be able to pick the right MVP this time? Yeah, I agree, Pedders. We've had this discussion before. The thing with Neil was just unfortunate. They just gave it to someone without seeing the games because they had to do it all a day before and pre-organize stuff. They should have asked the players, I think, to just tell them who the MVP was, but whatever. Let's hope they can actually pick the right one. I think Aggro just got too carried away with the arc. Like watching those games back, it was the Panatom show. Panatom ran every single game back to front. You're right. Finals will be sick. I'm second guessing my Kings pick. Ooh, no, you said it. You got to stick to it now that Kings clear the bracket. Whatever team Zap is on just wins. It's crazy and nothing against Zap. Zap just has that mental. The man has played too many ranked games. His brain is made of granite, pure stone. Cannot be chipped away at. If he loses, he won't even break a sweat. Yeah, Zap does kind of feel like the Zap passive, right? Like he's got it on lock. And don't forget that Latman? Lan Zapman. Latman doesn't sound very good. Lan Zapman is a different beast to regular season Zap. Okay, 100% see Fino going Benji mode. I think Fino has got the quality for it, but I just don't think Solo's good enough at the moment. I don't think Solo runs the map in that same way again. He can't pick Scardy. I don't want to see a single Scardy pick this world. If Zap wins, that's a near 50% win rate for him at Worlds. I mean, it's better than that because he didn't even get to Worlds until Season 3, right? I think he's already basically at a 50% win rate. It's 50% win rate for all Worlds, but for ones he's attended, he was at Season 3. What was Season 4 Worlds? Was he there for that? The United run? I don't think his team qualified for that. But I might be chatting shit. Was he at Season 5? Yes, he was at Season 5 Worlds with Trifecta where they beat E United. And then 1, 6, 7, 8. They become the official go. Already the go. Do you think Twig retires after this World? Possible, isn't it? Although the Kings have been looking really good recently. So maybe that's kind of relays for now he's getting a taste for winning again. I don't know. And Twig is an individual player, second only to Barra in terms of a fan favorite. Really? I think I still see so many people hating on Twig. Maybe just because he's so inconsistent. How many Zap for 4 do you think we'll see? No team can resist the Zap for 4. Doesn't matter how many times you've seen it over the years. Zap just baits himself to world titles. They see that juicy looking Rama lurking there in the left lane, and he rolls, Aegis's, ults, sits in the ult for the entire duration, rolls again on landing, and by that time the entirety of Leviatans have Zapman's in trouble. They come and crush everything. Yeah, agree, Mordos. Agree. Yeah. Always stays relevant. Good decision making. How much fun is QQ video? He could for sure hard carry games. Yeah, but that's a ranked game. that's completely irrelevant in terms of this aspect. It's not saying anything about Fino as a player. This is just about Solo as a pick. As a role, sorry. Levy Sangan. Yeah, I think there's a very good chance of that, Isaac. So who do we get? Who did Kings beat at the most recent LAN that they won? Was it the Jades? I can't even remember. I actually don't know if I watched those games. Depends how good Arthur is. I don't think we'll see much Arthur at all. I think Arthur's a bit. Is that right? feel like I haven't seen much Arthur recently. But he's still fine. They beat Levs in the finals? Did they now? What was the score? Dragons and Levies. Do you know what? Coming into this, I was going to give Levies the prediction. That's who I've got in my head as winning. Shall we go mad? Should we say Yark the Shark goes back to back? He brings the ice to the team? Let's fucking do it. Let's go mad. Kings 3, Levies 2. Peek out on Yorm. Give this man the gilded arrow. He pops off. Let Yorm be able to use Poly, man. Let him use Telkine's ring. So what's our bet on most broken Goddess worlds? Darji is still going to get banned every single game. Ishtar's going to be contested every single game. Maui's going to feature really, really prominently. People are going to think it's Naja for some reason, and they're wrong. Objectively wrong. I think people are going to very quickly remember that Yamosha is busted. I think people think Thor is busted, but I disagree. I think late game team fights is just too much of a liability, because if you use your hammer for any sort of damage, you just die. You basically just Agni dashed and you die. If you don't build him to one shot, then it doesn't really do anything. So I think Thor will lose people a lot of games. I think Thor will be good at this phase, and then he will start being complete doo-doo from here on out. I don't think we will see a Kronos or a Naja in these phases at all. I just don't. I know I've been Naja bashing this entire stream, but I just believe it. Yeah, back-to-back MVP in another role. If he does that, that is GOAT contention right there. That is insane. Zap goes and retires after. Full-time streamer. If Dragons manage to beat Levies, what does the finals look like from there? Yeah, that's a good question, actually. A Kings versus Jade finals. I think that's a much better matchup for the Kings. I think Kings can win that. If Pani gets Susana or Darji, it's GG. So against Levies, there's 2 set bans. I think the problem is that those, you can't be I mean, you can use a ban on Darji every time, but you can't be banning Susana every again. There's just too many strong gods. Mournful Slash doesn't just got to work. Haven't played Smite forever. I'm thinking of jumping back in for the new season. Hell yeah. Well, let's see what they're cooking up for us in the they're doing the announcement, the keynote stuff like that over this weekend. So there'll be a new map. So this is going to be a great time to hop back in. There'll be all sorts of new items, I hope. Something new at least. What makes people think Levies have no shot? I absolutely think I came into this thinking they're going to... Well, my original prediction was going to be that they win, but I think I've just been carried away and everyone getting hyped for the Kings. So it looks like it says Levy 52. So I'm going Pagon's Yu Huang makes massive plays this world. I really hope we do get to see some Yu Huang. I really enjoy seeing him. I think he's like, yeah, I think Pagon makes plays with that god that I literally didn't even consider being possible. Like using him as like a Sylvanas pull with his ult, who just like snatches people over corners. And insane. But we haven't really seen much of him, have we? He was in 1 or 2 games in the qualifiers, but generally didn't make much of an appearance. I hope he does. He's a fun god. Yark is the best ADC in the league already. I am sure. I think Pagon and Scream are really going to make the difference in any Jade game. The Scream is pretty consistently good, but Pagon can be quiet. If they give Pagon room to do stuff, and if Pagon fixes his keyboard before World starts, then this could be something else. I don't think Jay can get through Kings. I agree. I definitely agree. I think Kings have that matchup. I wouldn't say 80-20, but yeah, they've looked really comfortable in that matchup recently. So yeah, if I'm putting money on this, I'm actually going to put Levies, but I really like the Levies as a team. I want to see them succeed, but come on, the Kings. You got to get that ring sometime, man. You've got to do it. For all of those horrendous losses for Twig. Oh, fuck. Breaking everything. Right, okay. Is there anything else people wanted to ask or discuss? Because I'm going to probably move towards wrapping this up soon. Picks and builds. I think we've kind of discussed that a lot already, to be honest. Hey God, going to be spiritual MVP. I think he's gonna bring some hype plays. Pagon, imagine a Pagon 3-man Yu Huang ultimate in front of the crowd, everyone going mental. J2 only because Pagon's keyboard broke. Oh, Oxy, no, Oxy, look away, look away. I had no. There you go, fixed it. Whew. That was close. Big dub for the Levies. Just want Pegons to get Worlds first years in SPL. That'd be nuts. Best player in each role in this tournament. Good question. Good question. I think on current form, I'm going to start ADC. Current form, I might actually give it to vote. No, that's probably a bit too wild, isn't it? I think I'd want Zatman on the team most of the shot calls, but they're kind of the same. Maybe that's too much of a stretch. Jungle, Panatom, because it's Panatom. Mid, take your fucking pick. Paul, Shinto, Big Man, all insanely crap. Pagon. There's so many good mid laners, man. Dartes. Too many good mid laners, man. I haven't really answered any of these yet. Support. I am a PBM and wrong you lover, but I'm going to give it to Genetics. And solo. Who do you guys think for solo? I'm actually not sure. People are going to say Deathwalker, aren't they? Deathwalker too. Fino's the most consistent, I'd say. Actually, and Hadix. Don't know. You think? Yeah, yeah. I guess that's my team, but that's the most half-hearted, non-committal answer you've ever seen. Do you think the crowd is going to affect any specific team more than others? I think Jade Dragons love a crowd, love to pop off. Kings, I think, are really going to appreciate the crowd. Because he Deathwalker getting the suit and tie back on. Let's go. But the Leviathans are massive. They love to pop off as well. They love to. In fact, I wonder if that's going to actually hurt them because, you know, Zap wins by staying so cool, calm, collected. Maybe he gets in front of the crowd and he starts, you know, he's getting all fast and loose again. We see ranked Zapman make an appearance. Ranked Steven appears. That is basically what is going to decide this tournament. Who turns up? Is it the 3-time back-to-back world champion ADC, or is it ranked Steven who gets solo by like Donut Doug? Nipple Licker 69. Bino Worlds can be shaky? Really? Really? Gonna have to disagree on that one. My man, he put Rival in his pocket, in his backpack, and for finals of Season 7. Until they lost. Hadix, Shinto, Panny, PBM, and Zap. Yeah. For someone who said that Mambo are going to win everything, not a single Mambo player made it into the team. Last 3 was remote. Not the last 3. Season 7 and 8 were. Season 6 was on in front of a crowd. I think Fino's had really, really good world tournaments, hasn't he? I guess, yeah. Actually, last year he was the only member of the Dragons playing well. So yeah, so he did play Cthulhu all the way until the last game where Scary nicked. Well, not all the way through, sorry. For their wins, he played Cthulhu, and then Scary took it game 5. And Big picked Poseidon and got dunked on because he played Poseidon into Camazot's Cthulhu. Oh, actually, that's fun. That's one for the bingo card. What game do you reckon is the biggest candidate for the I'm going to pick Poseidon and lose a crucial game. Where do you reckon that comes in? A rogue Poseidon pick, which just loses the game. Things I would normally say it's Kings, but Tings is too good to do that. I think it might be a Mambo. It might be a Mambo Bolts game 3. Zeros is like fuck the Chronos. Poseidon's coming out, and then Lazra plays any god that's under the assassin tab and dies. Yeah, we will not be seeing mages and duo. Don't you worry. We will not be seeing. I thought Wolfie wasn't playing this year. Damn. Bolts. SOT solo Poseidon. Yes. Yes. Get the Toxic Blazer who speeds around the map. The fastest rotations in the land. Any game where Twig played it. Twig, game 5, best of 5 finals. Twig pulls out the Poseidon Jungle. Huge. He actually won a game in World's Finals with Poseidon Jungle back on Team Rival, which is rogue, because who the fuck picks Poseidon Jungle at World's Finals? But holy shit, the screen Poseidon might actually exist. You're right. I feel like Bolts do it. I don't feel like Ven doesn't play Poseidon much. Maybe I'm just lying. Oh, actually, he played Poseidon on that game that Sanguine didn't kill the Titan by like 100 health. In comes Wrongy. Onto the Titan they go. They're not doing enough damage. Goth ADC pocket pick. Let's go. Yorm ADC? Anyone? Gilded Arrow? Yeah. Who do you think is going to be the sleeper pick? The one that people aren't really playing that much at the moment, and by the end of the tournament they're going to go, oh yeah, actually this god's cracked. You can't say Ishtar. Oh god. That's why he'll never play Poseidon again. That's why he will never ever touch Poseidon again. Yeah, everyone flaming Ven all of a sudden. Won new game 4 and lost. Yeah, we were actually watching those games on the Twitch stream the other day, Nuzlocke Nightmare. And that game really goes down the potty when on Guan Yu Jungle he blinks into the last 3 frames of a Jing channel and gets launched back. No way, it's not Yem. You someone's spitting in the chat. Raijin. Yeah, I think Raijin's an underrated pick. Interesting. You're mid. Yeah, let's go. Full damage. You're mid. If he does that, I will actually cry with happiness. Apollo Global. Yeah, Apollo's a god that does love to pop off at Worlds. He always does make an appearance. Devo's, this is a good meta for Apollo. This is a good meta for him. But I think he has quite a bad matchup into CERN, surely. So I think he might just get bodied by that. Scylla can do it every single year, man. Scylla has not changed. Scylla has not changed at all. She probably had been buffed or nerfed a little bit, but she still does the exact same things, which is shitloads of damage and can absolutely one-shot tanks. The cripple is insane. The damage is insane. ML Scylla, Paul. It's gonna happen. Scylla's the pick. Let's go. Apwa, let's go. Apwa. Why can't I say it? Apwash. L and Arachne. I'm gonna have to say a firm no on both of those. Morrigan, yeah, Morrigan's just good. We will see. I think we'll see a decent amount of Morrigan this tournament. It's such a comfort pick for mids. People love falling back on the Mori. Scylla's been frying lately. This is a big up. Jing about to bring the washing machine. Jing's been played quite a lot at the moment. Mori's getting perm banned on the bottom side of the bracket. Yeah, but Dardez loves it. Pagon loves it. Paul loves it. I imagine Shinto loves it as well. Ulla and Raijin. I don't think Ulla, unfortunately. Maybe in mid, but I think their Devo's build is just too good for Ulla to be good at the moment. BMT on Cuckoo, no ping. Yes, that's a wet dream, isn't it? Ares solo. Ares, bring back Ares jungle, I say. I can see Ares being a bit of a sleeper pick. Ares seems strong at the moment, man. Chang'e is sleeper OP. I want to make a firm plea to any SBL player watching this video, which is none, by the way. Do not pick Chang'e. Please ignore Mr. Yap Yap in the chat. Do not pick Chang'e. Chang'e. Jingwei, get out. Mods ban this man. No, I think Pele's quite high on the list at the moment. I think she's going to be quite highly rated. I think we'll see a lot of Pele this weekend, RT. Athena Jungle, yes, bring it back. Bring back glasses, I say. Chains, chains, flames under the tower. That's how you start a game. Maybe we see Cuvo bring back Karakin. Kabroken. I hope not. I like Cuvo, but I don't want to see that. Gotta split. See you later, Carla guy. Nah, trust dude. Okay. Source, trust me. Right. I'm going to call it there. This has been a delightful little streamy poos. I will be shit posting my way throughout. I might be streaming some of the games on Twitch. So my Twitch link should be in the description if I'm a clever boy. But probably not. Thank you very much for hanging out. I haven't seen Maui or Atlas in the final. I think Atlas is a pick we're going to see a ton of. I think people are going to really realize how strong Atlas is as well. In stock Danza. Let's see the Danza. Come on. I want to see the Danza again. I love a good Danza game. Thanks, everyone. And enjoy Worlds. It starts in about 2 hours' time. Apparently, the stream has gone up. So if you're there, enjoy it. Get stuck in. It's going to be fucking awesome back in front of the crowd. I can't wait. Let's go. I can't believe I'm out this evening. Oh, criminal. Criminal. I need to tell my friends the Mambo are playing. I got to see the Jade Dragoons. Anyway, thank you very much. And I will see you on the flip side.